Western realignment is heating back up. Conference realignment is always in the news, so I'm back on the big mountain to keep you updated. Western realignment here, revving back up, and we have all the details and potential future moves here for you. JY here with the big mountain. After a weekend of me hearing that there was news going to be coming from the West Coast Conference very, very soon, it was confirmed today that UC San Diego will be joining the West Coast Conference in 27-28. So that's July 1st, 2027. This comes as a fairly big surprise as they're going to be leaving the Big West, who just finished backfilling with Cal Baptist, Sac State, and Utah Valley after they had lost last fall Hawaii and UC Davis to the Mountain West here in 2026. The Tritons here have had a lot of success, especially recently here. They just completed their mandatory transition phase here from D2 to D1 this past year. Both the men's and the women's basketball teams qualified for the NCAA tournament this past year. The program was just D3 here 25 years ago in 2000. So they have ascended the ranks here pretty dramatically over the last 2 decades. Here on the Big Mountain, we've been waiting on this West Coast Conference news to kind of happen ever since Gonzaga announced it was going to leave that conference for the Pac-12, of course, that being July 1st of 2026. Many other conferences in the West have been busy transitioning membership, but up until now, the West Coast Conference has been very, very quiet. Hero Sports reported that there had actually been growing frustration within the membership of the West Coast Conference about their lack of urgency in expansion since the news of Gonzaga leaving that conference. This appears to just be another domino that is now fallen. I have been told that there are several more to follow. So let's get into that. Of course, we know San Diego is going to be making this move. I'm going to go through several other items that I have. I have sourced information in terms of what's going to be happening here over the next potential weeks to months. First, as we have said here on the Big Mountain, St. Mary's is locked into the Pac-12. I still believe that to be the case. Most everyone now is reporting this and that move is likely going to happen. So the West Coast Conference here possibly losing 2 schools. Of course, they already lost Gonzaga. I truly believe, as does most people, that St. Mary's is going to be leaving that conference here in the non-too-distant future as well. But let's talk about some schools here that few people really have been discussing. First, I do not believe the West Coast Conference is finished. I have been told that UC Irvine is also being courted by the West Coast Conference. This may be the next move that conference makes. I don't believe it's imminent, but they're being courted. They're having conversations. And I do believe that UC Irvine could be the next addition to the West Coast Conference. That move would then have the Big West down 2 schools yet again. Again, as I just talked about, they backfilled for several losses. They may be looking at several losses here as well. And I think they're unlikely to sit by quietly. A very high-level source confirmed to me today that Denver is of significant interest to the Big West and being courted by the Big West. So, one of the backfills here for the Big West could very well be Denver. Remember, we had Commissioner Butterly on here with the Big West a few months ago. He stated that they want to be the Big West, right? Not just the Big California. They've already added Utah Valley. And, it only makes sense that they're going to want to look to try and add other schools outside of the state of California. If the Big West loses UC Irvine, look for them to add Denver. And I'm being told one other member. I haven't been named who that member may be, but Denver definitely on the top of that list. Two more conferences here that I do want to briefly discuss: the United Athletic Conference and, of course, the Mountain West. One of the two conferences we follow the most closely, there being the Mountain West. So let's first talk about the United Athletic Conference. I'm being told, again, by a very high-level source, that the UAC is going to add 3 new members in the coming weeks. So yes, I expect this to be September, maybe October, till they get this finalized, but I was told in the coming weeks, and I was told 3 new members. Was not given who those schools are. I don't know who those new members may be or who they're looking to have invited, but they are definitely looking to expand, so be ready for more movement there this month or early next month. Remember, the UAC and the ASUN formed a partnership here just several months ago. We had Commissioner Bacon on our channel as well, talked to him about this. All football playing members moving forward, not this year, but moving into next year, all football playing members are going to be a part of the United Athletic Conference. And I'm told the United Athletic Conference is looking to add members. So yes, that means football playing members. I did say a while back, I was told that Oral Roberts was of interest to the WAC, then the WAC, before they had this partnership, merger, call it whatever you like. And I still believe Oral Roberts does have interest of the UAC. I'm not saying they will be one of the 3 members. I just know I was told a while back that Oral Roberts was one that the WAC/UAC was interested in. Of course, they would be coming from the Summit League. So the last piece here that I want to talk about is the Mountain West. It was rumored several months ago as well that Southern California schools here, mainly looking at University of California, San Diego, and Irvine, was being looked at by the Mountain West, and they had interest in those schools being added as non-football playing members. Of course, they just did that with GCU. They've done that with UC Davis since Davis's football program is not joining yet. So they were looking to maybe add to their basketball ranks and Olympic sport ranks. And I love that idea. I love getting one of those schools, San Diego or Irvine. I thought it would be great. It would put them back into that Southern Cal market that I think is very important for the conference for every different reason imaginable, recruiting, TV market, all that jazz. I was informed today that Coldwater actually has been thrown on that idea. And this was done obviously several months ago. Of course, we know now San Diego is going to the West Coast Conference. But I was told back when there were rumors about that Coldwater had been thrown on that idea by the media folk. I'm not going to get into any other details than just saying it didn't seem to work out from one way or another for the media partners to want to add one of those or both of those, UC San Diego and UC Irvine. So it does not look like the Mountain West is going to get back in to Southern Cal with a Olympic sport member. So there's an update there for the Mountain West. Of course, we will stay on all this realignment stuff. The West is absolutely still in limbo. We just had another domino fall here with San Diego. There are more coming. Again, I've been told there are more coming. We're probably talking 3 to 5 additional changes here in the West, both regarding the West Coast Conference, possibly the Big West, and the United Athletic Conference. So, hey, that's where we're at here today, the beginning of September. As I said, this realignment carousel never sleeps, and we will stay on it and bring you updates. Hey, make sure you give this one a like and subscribe if you like our content, and see you next time on the Big Mountain.